Okay, dear friends. Well, I'm sorry, something happened with the microphone in the latest video that I tried to post it on when we did it live on WebEx. I just want to go really quickly and explain to you what are we going to do with this. In Google Classroom, you will find this form. It's called Lenses template. And Lenses actually it stands for label and list, equation, notice, speculate or claim, explain, evaluate, or evidence that you find, and summary. That's what Lenses is. It's basically a graphic organizer that help us evaluate different graphics. In this case, we're gonna try to analyze an infographic. I have chosen one that is very current right now, is the history of pandemics. So I want to go over this really quickly and tell you that this is an infographic, is a graph that we're going to try to analyze. In Google Classroom, you will have a different one, but I want you to do a similar process for this. As you notice, there's a lot of different stuff right here. Anyway, so let's start with this, history of pandemics. So that's the infographic we were going to do. If I go back to my Lenses template, I am going to try to find what is the title. Oh, and the title we know is History of Pandemics. Pandemics. All right, I'm sorry about my handwriting. So we're gonna try to find in this particular one independent variables, dependent variables, high and low data points. So basically, let's look at this thing again and let's see what they have. So what I can see is like a timeline. It is a timeline from the year 165 until the present, which is right now. COVID-19 is on the bottom, and this is what's going on. So I can see that is a timeline. So here, I'm gonna independent variable are all the different kinds of pandemics, all the pandemics. Okay, sorry about my handwriting. The dependent variable in this case will be the time in a progression, right? From the past till the present. Now, if I go back to I can see that the lower points, if I go back down, I can see which ones are the lower. In this case, I can see that the Black Death or the bubonic plague was the biggest that killed 200 million people. That will be the high. And the low in this case would be, I'm gonna go all the way down here. And the lowest is SARS with 770 people dead. So that's exactly what I'm going to do in my here. So high is the Black Death with Black Death, sorry about my handwriting. That's the high with how many people dead? I would say it was 200 million people around the world that die here. So 200 million. And the low would be, like it says here, is SARS, right? With 770. So I'll put it right here. So SARS with 770 people that die. Those are the high and lower points. All right, now we're gonna go to an equation here. In this case, in this particular infographic, there's no equation that tells me what's going on because it's just a timeline. So we're gonna try to avoid that one, okay? We're gonna avoid that one. So I'll go here. And I said, no, there's no equation in this particular graph. So I'm going to move to the next one. Okay, notice. What do you notice about the graph? Oh, I can write what I notice. Oh, yes, you know what is a timeline. is a timeline. Timeline. There are all the pandemics in the history of the world. Pandemics in history. You can actually explain a little more. I'm just going really quickly. What else do I notice? I notice that it starts in the year 165 and it goes all the way to the present, right? And all the pandemics. Now, identify the properties of the graph. Okay, what properties? It tells us the number of people dead, okay? It tells me the year and the name of the pandemic or the disease and how many people die. So let's write that over here. So number of people dead, name of the disease, and the time that happened. Okay, we're not gonna do the calculated slope, although we can actually look in here and we can say, hey, you know what? There's from 200 million to 770. It's a big thing. So we can actually say there are, you can actually subtract, or you can just write the equation here. 300 million minus 770, and it will equal how many people died here. So that's something that we can calculate. Now, in the next thing, in the speculator claim, I want you to look at this infographic and tell me what do you speculate about the graph? A hypothesis. What will happen to independent variable, increases or not? So we can say, hey, I can see that this keeps happening, right? I can see that this pandemic, or many of them, keep coming up. Look at the present. There's MERS, Ebola, SARS, COVID-19, the swine flu, all of those. I can speculate that maybe in the future there will be another one that could be as catastrophic as the Spanish flu, as the biggest one. So in my form, I can say, hey, there will be another one. There will be another one in the future, of course. And predict the next data recording. What inferences can you make about the graph? I can say that through history, there will be so many of them. And how many people have died for in those? So I can speculate that maybe this one, I can predict that in the next few years, this is what will happen again. I can write whatever I need for my prediction of what I think it will happen again. And then in the next part, explain and evaluate your evidence. Explain the predictions of the speculation. How? Well, here I want you to look at the observations that you made. I can see that some pandemics are bigger than others. Some actually killed a lot of people. Others not so much. So we can actually say that we don't know what kind of pandemic will actually be the next one. I don't know, but I can speculate on the information or how big this COVID-19 will actually become. And now in the last, what question is not addressed in the graph that would allow to better understand the topic? I don't know. In this particular one, I can say, look at COVID-19 on the bottom right here. There's only up to this point, March 30th, there's 35,100 people dead. And it's keep going, as you can see that. So a question that I have maybe is, how can we stop them? Is there a way to stop these pandemics? What can we do? Are the things that we're doing right now, like putting in quarantine all the countries, everybody staying home, is helpful? I don't know. choose a question that goes along. And on the bottom, the last part, the most important is the summary. What do you learn? What content have you learned? Exactly. Say, okay, I've learned in this infographic that there is a chance that all pandemics can reoccur. Can happen again. We don't know if we're prepared, but that's what we can do. So write anything that you learn about this particular infographic. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this. I already posted something on Google Classroom. Look at that infographic. It's less complicated than this one, maybe. But I want you to fill this form with that particular one, okay? And just give it a try. This is just an example. Try it the best of your ability, and then we'll go from there. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day.